Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Thanks for joining me for Stampin' Stick card class number 8. This is our Peaceful Days Stampin' Stick card class. Stampin' Stick card class is just like it sounds. We offer an amazing packet for all of our Stampin' Stick card classes. We do have a few of our packets for the last maybe 5 classes, so be sure to check it out in the link in the description below. But we call this the Stampin' Stick card class if you're not familiar with it, because you can get the class as a PDF only or with the Stampin' Stick card class packet. And with this packet, you will literally just have to stamp your images and then stick it all together to get 3 great cards. So let me show you the cards that I'm going to make today. These are the Peaceful Day card classes. The link for the PDF and for the class, which includes the PDF, is in the description below. All right, our first card, you are so very kind. I did these with everyday greetings on them, but you can absolutely switch out your greetings for winter or Christmas greetings and start your Christmas cards right now. Inside it says, consider this a paper hug. I couldn't resist doing some of these everyday greetings with the paper tags stamp set. So I'm going to show you some alternatives in just a minute if you want to use this packet to get your Christmas card started. Or of course you can just switch your greetings and make them more winter or Christmas. Consider this a paper hug. Inside just for you. That's card number 2. And card number 3, it's a wonderful day to celebrate you, and just a beautiful place to put a note inside. All right, so those are our cards for today. Let me show you some quick alternatives. Now, maybe you don't have the Peaceful Days stamp set, but if you're a card club for cool people, you probably got convinced that you needed winterly treetops. So here's alternative number 1, done with that bundle. And you can see all we did was switch out our greetings and stamp some different images. Inside, thinking of you always. And then here's card number 2, and there are alternatives. Don't worry, pictures of these alternatives are on the blog post. The blog is Project Details. Click here, it'll take you to the blog, and you can see all these pictures. A friend like you brings me happiness. Isn't that cute? And then last one, this is card number 1, thinking of you. And inside, sending thanks and much love. So those cards can be made with this packet too, if you just stamp different images. You still stick it together the same way. All right, another one here is done with the Magical Meadow bundle. All right, let's see. So same thing, exactly the same card. You stamp different images, you get a little bit different results. Winter wishes, and the colder weather brings us together. And I love the way Jan used the little envelope inside. That's part of the kit. You'll get that die cut for you. All right, and then winter wishes. May this season of sparkle bring you joy and delight. And then our last alternative, winter wishes, and the colder weather brings us together. Are those fabulous? All right, so those are our alternatives. We're gonna make our originals, and we are gonna start with the first one in our series, which is You Are Very Kind. Our class packet includes all of the ribbon and twine that you need, plus all of the embellishments for your cards. And you're gonna wanna look at the PDF for this one before you jump into your packet and cut, okay? Because generally, and for Stampin' Stick, we've been doing a length of ribbon, and you need the same amount for each card. So you just divide up your ribbon in thirds for your cards, right? This one's a little different. Each ribbon is a different measurement. You're going to have a little bit more than you need, but not enough for mistakes. So just check your length and then cut. So the first thing we're going to do for Stampin' Stick card class here is do our little ribbon treatment, okay? Let me put this aside. So I cut my ribbon for my first card, divided it up into 3 pieces, the length that's specified in the PDF, and then I'm going to fold my ribbon in half. And then I'm going to take my twine, and you have enough to do all 3 cards. So divide that up before you get started, and then I'm going to just loop it around the end of the ribbon and then pull and secure. All right, so now we've got a little ribbon with the loop on the end. And then I'm going to tie a bow. So I'm going to loop, swoop over the top, tuck, and pull. And I've got a great little ribbon treatment for my card all ready to go. Now, we like to batch work in the Stampin' Stick card class. So I'm going to grab some tear and tape adhesive, and I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my ribbon. What I'm going to do is put it right behind the linen thread, and then I'm going to spread that ribbon apart just a little bit so that it flares at the bottom. I'm going to put another little piece to hold that flare. All right, so that's for card number 1, and I've already done for card number 2 and for card number 3. All right, so we've got all of our ribbons done, and we're gonna set them aside with each card. All right, so here we go. All right, then the next thing we're gonna do, because we batch work, is we're going to stamp. In your packet, you have white cardstock, and we're going to stamp all of our birds and flowers and leaves, and we're going to cut them out. Now, for demonstration, I'm going to stamp one of each and do a little bit of fussy cutting. Let's get our ink here. All right, and since Peaceful Day is a photopolymer stamp set, I got my Stampin' Pierce mat. Now, I'm going to do one bird, but you need 3. And you're going to want to stamp them kind of close together. You're going to fussy cut them and not die cut them, but stamp them close so you'll have enough room for all of your flowers and leaves. There's our bird. All right, and then for your leaves, you're going to need 4 leaves and a section of leaf. So what I'm going to tell you is you're going to stamp your images kind of close, but then you only need the 3 leaves for the inside of one of your cards. So what I'm going to do is grab a little scratch paper. I'm going to stamp 4 full leaves, and then I'm just going to ink the end of my leaf and put this on some scratch paper and stamp just the 3 that I need off on a corner, just like that. All right, so we've got all of our leaves stamped. Now let's do our flowers. We need 6 big flowers. And then the little flower, we need 6 of those also. All right, so you're going to fill up your whole page with all of your stamping, and then let's cut them out. And I'm just going to fussy cut with a little white border. And then I'm going to divide up each of the fussy cut items so that I have what I need in each card. I like to do as batch work. For this card, we need 1 big flower, 2 little flowers, a bird, and a branch. So we got those all ready. And then in our Stamp and Stick class packet, you're going to get your bits in a mailing envelope. So after you stamp and stick, you can mail. We always want to make sure that you've got that mailing envelope. It keeps you organized and works as convenient for mailing your cards. All right, so we've got our designer series paper all cut and ready to go. A adorable little envelope, and then a label. We have a little bit more stamping to do before we stick. Let's do our outside greeting and our inside greeting. Don't lose your little envelope. Fold this set it aside, and let's get some ink and that Stampin' Pierce mat. Okay, there it is. Now, you are so very kind. We want to stamp this just high of center on our label. And then for the inside, I've got consider this a paper hug. And I'm going to stamp that one right center, well, a little high of center. And just a little something extra. I'm going to grab those flowers again, and we're really going to make this inside special. So let's grab those little flowers, and we'll add a couple right inside of our card. I hear from a lot of you that you don't love to write big messages inside of cards. So we took that feedback seriously for Stampin' Stick card class, and we've been doing our best to give you gorgeous ideas for inside and outside. So I hope that you're enjoying that. Let's get the card base. We emboss your card base for you if you get the packet. And we're going to start with some designer series paper on the outside here. And then when I layer this one up, I'm going to cut some chicken lips at the bottom of my second designer series paper. And we can add that one. Then we'll come in with our ribbon treatment here, and we can just remove the liner from the back and stick that one on. I'm going to use that same adhesive on my label. You can use a couple of glue dots here. You can use the liquid glue, but you'll want to be generous if you use the liquid glue because we're going over that ribbon. So I'm going to just make my life real easy and do some strips of tear and tape. And then pop that up against the top of the bow here. We want a little bit of that pretty crumb cake designer series paper to show. And our bird and envelope. I've got some dimensionals already on the back of this bird. Let's pop that little guy on. And then we need a little dimensional on the back of our envelope. I love this little envelope. It's just too cute. And I really love how Jan incorporated the little envelope since we cut it for you already in your packet. I love how she included it on her alternative designs in such thoughtful ways. Don't you guys think so? All right, now for my leaf, I'm going to cut a bit of dimensional. And I'm going to use a combination of dimensional and a glue dot for my leaf. So I've got the dimensional kind of on the end there. Grab a little glue dot for the stem. Brand new roll of glue dots, and I tied the ribbon too tight, you guys. It's okay, it won't be tight for long. I use so many glue dots, but it doesn't want to slide. All right, I got a little glue dot there. I had to muscle it, but we'll put that one at the stem. And then we can add our branch. Ah! Stuck my finger in the glue dot. And a couple more flowers to finish up and add some contrast. I love this for everyday greetings, but it's also beautiful for winter and Christmas cards. You can do both very easily with this Stampin' Stick card class. I'm gonna trim the tails on my linen thread a bit, and get some dingles. We've got some liquid glue. Let's add the inside first. Finish up our card. And a little sparkle to the outside. And that will be card number 1. I went ahead and put my gems right in the center of my flowers. I like the little bit of attention that brings. All right, there is card number 1. Let's get on to card number 2 now. Love this greeting. Consider this a paper hug. All right, so card number 2, we've done our ribbon treatment ahead, and in the packet, you're gonna find your card base all embossed for you. And let's get our designer series papers. Well, first there's our liner and our label. You'll find that in your kit. Designer series paper, all ready to go. And then don't let the envelope eat the little envelope. Shake that out. Make sure it's in there. There it is. It's in there. We made double, triple sure. So if you're missing your envelope, give your envelope a better shake. We stamped ahead and cut out some flowers here. Got 3 little flowers. There's that little half leaf that I told you about, a sprig, a big flower, and a bird. So let's put aside those for just a second. All right, we've got a little bit of stamping to do. So let's get that Stampin' Pierce mat back in here. We've got our card is portrait this time. Let's just do that. Gotta put the Stampin' Up logo in the bottom. Our card is portrait this time, so let's keep that in mind as we're stamping. I'm gonna use that Consider This a Paper Hug. This one's gonna go up high and a little bit to the right so that we have some room to hang our branch. And then inside I went with Just For You. Let me grab that little Just For You, but we're going to do a little extra stamping too. Another one of these little birds. I'm going to start with that. We'll put it in the bottom left corner. So pretty. And then Just For You. Let's get these out of here. Now, because we're using this long branch that comes in the stamp set, we're going to have to cut and adhere those items to the inside so that we can have that little like edited version of our sprig. So let's get a little, you can mask your stamp if you want to and try stamping it right on there. But I'm not really awesome at masking, you guys. All right, so Elena asked me if I would be more careful about getting glue all over everything because she's got to edit it out of the pictures. So I grabbed my little silicone craft sheet here. It really is good for keeping the area tidy. And my fine point glue bottle, that's going to also help keep everything nice and neat. And we'll add that little flower. Don't cover the birdie's beak. All right, next, let's get that inside of our embossed card base. Is that just not the cutest? But of course, if you wanted to add your winter greetings in there, it would be perfect too. All right, our designer paper, I'm going to cut some chicken lips again on my crumb cake piece. I'm going to do both ends this time. Wish me luck. And let's get that on with some liquid glue. Of course, you could flip the side of this if you wanted to. That'd look pretty cool. Our ribbon is already ready to peel and stick. So let's go ahead and peel that, add it to the card. And I'm going to get some more tear and tape again for my label. Do love the tear and tape. You guys see my little envelope sitting right there? Don't lose your little envelope. It's such a cutie. It'll make great paper embellishments for all kinds of projects. All right, we'll add that one. Leave enough room for your flowers and branch at the top. I've got my branch with the dimensional on the end. Let's also get a glue dot. I'll just pop that on so that it can hang by the greeting. My big flower's got a dimensional. Pop that bigger one. My birdie too. I did prepare the magic of television here with my Stampin' Dimensionals. And fill that space. I'm going to trim my bow now that it's on the card. We can give it a little adjust. My last two little flowers. Pop them on for a little contrast. And I didn't forget you. Come over here, you little guy. There's my envelope. And where's my mini Stampin' Dimensionals? I love mini Stampin' Dimensionals. They're so convenient. Perfect. And Birdie's carrying a letter. Isn't that great? I love this class, you guys. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you see the possibilities, whether you're doing some everyday greetings or you want to make these into holiday cards. Whatever you do with this Stampin' Stick card class and with your packet, especially if you take it in another direction entirely with a different bundle, we want to see. Please join our Kitchen Table Stamper Craft Social. It is the best crafty place on the internet, and the link is in the description below. You are officially invited. Consider this a paper hug, just for you. All right, that's card number 2. We've got one more card, and as you can see, a little bit of batch working and the bunch of preparation that we do for you, like embossing your card fronts, makes over-the-top gorgeous cards very quick and easy. All right, so we've got our ribbon prep done. In the class packet, you get your embossed card front and the liner. And let's see, you got a little bit more of batch work here and what we included in the kit. So let me show you in the kit. There's also a white label, your designer series paper pieces. At the bottom of that envelope is an envelope. Don't lose it. And then I did, for my batch work preparation, a bird. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the larger flowers, 2 leaf sprigs, and a little flower. All right, so those are my stamp. Let's get the sticking. Gonna start with my designer series paper here. Let's show you what we got going on. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you. Let's add our designer series paper to the card. No chicken lips this time, just 2 strips kind of centered. And let's see if we can get them straight. There we go. Our ribbon is ready to peel and stick. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to go high of center. And we can give our linen thread a little trim. All right, we'll set this aside for a second. Got a little bit of stamping to do here. Don't lose that envelope. Okay, this one is portrait. So let's get it oriented like that. It's a wonderful day to celebrate you is going to go on the label. And we're going to do that just about centered, maybe a little bit high of center. I love this stamp. I love the greeting. I love the font. I just love it. Gorgeous. And then inside we're going to get a little crazy here. I got the vine image from the Peaceful Day. We're going to do that to frame in our inside panel. Top and bottom. Now, I'm going to get that silicone mat one more time. Got a little bit of gluing to do. Elena will thank me later. I'm going to bring my small tip glue, my silicone mat, and 2 of these flowers that I stamped and cut, the bigger ones. Add a little glue, and then let's pop those on and really pump up the volume on these vines. Isn't that pretty? Some fun color, some nice contrast. Little creative turn on that. Let's grab our card back in here. We can add our label and our liner. Label I'm going to do with my tear and tape again. Love me some tear and tape. Sorry, Rhonda. I know there's a tool for that. Okay, wonderful day to celebrate you on the outside. Gorgeous floral frame on the inside. Then our bird. And you bet I'm going to put that envelope on next because I'm not taking any chances that I lose it. Little mini dimensional. And pop that on there in the birdie's beak. Cute. Got my dimensionals on the back of my leaves already. Going to grab a glue dot on this one. And then what I'm going to do is that glue dot is wider than that stem. So I'm just going to add this little guy. And then this one's already sticky on the dimensional, and I'm going to just put the very end of the stem on the same glue dot And then over the top, where they're still a little sticky, we're going to cover that with a flower. And then down here, we're going to add a little flower and a big flower. And there it is, you guys. We just did Stampin' Stick card class number 8. Yes, this is number 8. And there are a few packets left for, I don't know, the last several Stampin' Stick card classes. So if you just found us today and you're interested, you can get a packet for this. Links in the description below. Check out the other packets we have available. The classes are free on YouTube, and the replay will always be available. Packets are while supplies last. If you love the class and you need a little bit extra help and want to support the channel, pick up the PDF. PDF is especially great for our followers in other countries, demonstrators who order their supplies from themselves, or for customers who have demonstrators that they love. So if you grab the PDF and have all that you need between the video and the PDF if you've got your own supplies, all right? If you guys have any questions about the card class, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com and shop Stampin' Up 24/7. Buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next Stampin' Stick card class.